If you're someone planning to build a startup of your own at some stage in life, sooner or later, then this video is for you. Before plunging in, of course, you need clarity of idea of what exactly do you want to build and why you want to build. Check out these videos about founder agreement or co-founder agreement and the why of what you're starting up. But it is also important that you understand the environment and how it maps in the ecosystem where you're trying to build. That's also a key area of ensuring that you build the clarity into what you're doing. And we are doing this video as a part of our themed video releases, very short video releases within 5 minutes about the startups and what does it take to build a startup. An overall guideline, especially on the points that you often do not hear. So today we are talking about map the ecosystem before you leap. So when we say map the ecosystem before you leap, what do we exactly mean? That you need to really reflect before you build your business. Yes, getting a startup off the ground is practically about building a business, and business means there is a risk, there is a profit and loss, there is a revenue cycle, and there is a value creation which enables all of these in a positive manner. So understanding why do you want to register your startup in a given geography and not in another geography? What are the leverages that you get? Maybe if you're an Indian citizen watching this, what are the leverages that you get of starting your startup in India? Which state really suits you? Are you building an EV startup? Are you building a healthcare startup? Are you building an e-commerce startup or quick commerce startup? Based on these, the place where you, or maybe a fintech startup, which place does it resonate better? Where do you find the right kind of environment to build it right? These are some key factors that matter, because there is a need to understand how the local, state, and national business setup infrastructure comes together to enable a startup ecosystem in the country, state, and city of choice where you're registering it. City or village or town, whatever. But these play a role. For instance, if I talk about India, in India, the state governments have the onus of ensuring that the businesses build up in the or thrive in their state. There are state laws related to that. So the startup ecosystem onus comes for each state. That's why we see different startup hubs in different parts of India. Having said that, there is Startup India national scheme that's there by the central government of India, which spans across all the states and all the union territories of India. So it's important that we understand what are the kinds of startups that are thriving in a particular part of the country. Not that it's not possible to bring up other startups, but there is generally a bias that's there. How is the local ecosystem coming together to support it? What are the top 5 to 7 sectors of interest of your current government? Is it deep tech, healthcare, assistive tech, agri-tech, and public infrastructure and urban infrastructure? These are some of the areas that I'm calling out for India as a country. If I talk of UK, then healthcare, renewable energy, and transportation through renewable energy, EVs and all, which is also an area in India, and technological education. These are some key focus factors for maybe UK as a government. So getting a whiff of where the governments are leading to will enable you to be supported by the overall ecosystem enablers that are there. So it's important to align with that when you're actually getting your company registered and you're starting up something, or rather, let me put it, building your business. Which are the areas amongst these 5 to 7 areas that the government, say I decide to register my startup in Telangana, Hyderabad, in India, then what are the, out of those 5 to 7 areas that I've identified, what are the areas where I have a leverage in? What are the skill sets that I bring in, expertise, passion, and intuition that I bring in? If there is a, say, an overlap of 3 different areas, I would want to sit with those 3 areas, identify around 4 to 5 gaps in each of them that are not being addressed right now. That even I, if I experience that sector in some form or shape, see as a pain point for me that I'm adjusting on an ongoing basis. For instance, if there is a 1-hour power cut every day in your city or your town, then there could be something that's a problem to solve there. For instance, if there wasn't quick commerce, so you had to go and fetch the right kind of groceries from a certain part of the world, from a certain part of the city. Now that's the problem that has been solved by quick commerce. So understanding these areas that can be solved where you have a leverage, where you have passion, intuition to do it right, that's what will count. What are the list of grants, seed funds, support programs that are available for each of these sectors, which are both your choice and are supported by the government? Now, all these grants, usually there'll be a generic grant available with all the pool of the businesses that are setting up new with a new kind of idea will have a chance to pitch, qualify as per some criteria and get the grants. At the same time, there'll be sector specific grants, like if you're building something in semiconductor industry, if you're building something in the EV industry, or as I told you about, say, healthcare or deep tech, then there will be a special interest that you will find in India to build it right and to make it more accessible, make your products more accessible to the end users. So there'll be some special grants for this and some support programs also, which enable you with the right connections, right networking, so that your business blends well into the ecosystem where it is supposed to thrive. So those factors also become key when we are trying to build a business from scratch. Again, a key aspect to test out is how many businesses have succeeded in these areas that you are looking into. If there are more than 3, you're entering a red ocean. There is a Swiggy, there is a Zomato, there is a Zepto already in quick commerce. If I am supposed to start a startup in quick commerce right now, when there are 3 leading players already working like neck to neck, sorry, it wasn't Zomato, it was Blinkit. Now, if I'm entering it, I'm already entering a market that is crowded. However, at the same time, your strategy matters. For instance, Dipinder Goyal is currently entering into air travel. And how he puts it, these are buses in the air, connecting tier 2 and tier 3 cities. There are 450 plus airstrips across India as a country, and only 150 of them get used today. That's his business pitch. So he has found that gap, which he's trying to address. Can you find a gap similarly? Do you think you bring in the leverage, skills, expertise, or at least the drive to get it done? Understanding what does it take to get it done, what is the gestation period that you're looking at, or the time period it will take for you to start from the date of registration till the date that you reach a break-even point where your business is able to self-sustain to a certain extent. What is that time that it will take you to see success? What is your definition of success? And are you ready to actually commit that much time, energy, and really sacrificing on other things or other opportunities that you could have given a chance to build this right? What is that idea that drives you to do that? That's why the passion part is important. That's why the leverage part, skill part is important, because there will be ups and downs like in any journey. But what will see you through here is not a manager, not a friend, not a great team, or not a safety net, but only and only your drive and your conviction to see your idea through. Every idea has the potential to succeed, every honestly thought out idea. It's time, place, and the grit that together come together to ensure that it becomes a success. What amount of grit, time, and energy is this going to take of you? And what are the failures that have happened in this particular industry or sector of your choice? What has been the cost of failure to the founders? This is an important factor to consider. For example, we know about the Zeptos, Swiggies, and Blinkits of the world. But do we also know about tiny owls of the world, which were also the quick commerce aspiring companies that had started off well, but then couldn't scale up? There were actual operational issues which prevented them from scaling up. They had even received a good amount of funding. Nothing right or wrong about failure, but failure can be a great teacher, and it need not be your own failure all the time. Good if you have your own experiences, but it's not a bad idea to actually learn from others' experiences also. Understand and estimate the cost of failure, and see if you have an appetite or rather a resilience to actually absorb it. Now, if after listening to all these things that I've told you as points right now, almost 7 to 8 of them, if you still feel driven to find that startup idea of yours, work on it, nurture it, and make it see the light of the day, then you should stay tuned. You should look at the other videos that we are going to publish in Unplug the Genius as a part of these startup themed series. And you should also plan to attend my live session that I'm doing on this Friday, upcoming Friday, at 8 p.m. IST. I look forward to seeing you there. And have a lovely journey. Stay curious, and do not forget to do something out of your comfort zone that really unplugs that genius within you. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.